night to do whatever felt right. Alexis, the unadventurous boor? I'd killed her and buried the body. The gleaming brass bar was crowded, but I managed to slip a shoulder between two men and catch the bartender's attention. "Vodka martini," I said, feeling a sudden rebellious compulsion to do anything that would raise my sister's eyebrows. By the time my drink came, I'd completed a full 360 swivel in my bar stool to survey the sea of men for potential candidates. How exactly did one negotiate a one-night stand? Did you lead with it in conversation so all your cards were on the table? "Hi, I'm Alexis. You might be interested to know I'm trolling for a stranger to ravish me." Or did you hold back? Let your intention slip out at just the right moment? "I see you're ordering an Uber home. Could I interest you in going splitsies back to my place for a wild night of sex?" I braced a hand on the bar, taking a fortifying sip of my martini. Even if I made a complete fool of myself tonight, even if I was roundly rejected by every man I spoke to, coming here alone at least meant Lee and her crew couldn't witness my flop, then use it to skewer me for all eternity like the jackals they were. A whistle cut through the bar's ambient noise, followed by a loud, "Now that's a dress." Out of nowhere, a man appeared and sidled up beside me. One look at him and my mind blurted, "Forehead!" Probably because his was shiny as a disco ball, framed by waggling eyebrows and tilted all the way to the side. The next second, I realized his head was turned that way so he could get a clear view down my dress. "Thanks." I placed a protective hand over my chest and swiveled in the opposite direction. Hoping my body language would signal my disinterest, I took another sip of my martini and studied the empty corner of the room like it was fascinating. No such luck. "I'm Carter Randall," the man said, jutting out his hand. "What's your name?" My deep desire for him to go away warred with my silly, lifelong compulsion to be nice. I twisted back to shake his oddly moist hand and searched for inspiration. My gaze snagged, as his clearly had, on my dress. "Ruby." The next word came unbidden. "Dangerfield. Ruby Dangerfield." Curse my polite hardwiring that had me sitting here inventing a new name instead of dismissing him with something cool and clipped like, "Not interested." Carter gave my hand a little squeeze. He was twice my age, probably well into his 50s. Well-dressed, with a massive gold watch on his wrist, and, now that I squinted, a strangely sweaty face, like he'd just done a lap. Was he on party drugs? He used his sleeve to mop his forehead, and I pulled my hand away, resisting the urge to wipe it on my dress. Carter's eyes drifted down the length of my body yet again. "Well, Ms. Ruby, can I buy you a drink? A stiff one?" he grinned. "Oh," I said, "that's very nice, but, no thank you." Inside, I burned with the fire of 1,000 suns. Saying no to anyone, even a stranger, stretched the limits of my bravery. "Aw, come on." Carter leaned in closer, and I scooted back so fast I nearly tipped over. "Look at you, sitting there in that dress, clearly fishing for attention. Well, you caught me. Let's get you drunk and see what happens." Apparently, I was going to get a lesson in how not to proposition someone tonight, but my cheeks were burning because, in a small way, Carter was right. I had come here to put myself on display and find someone, just very much not him. Be the new Alexis, I urged myself. Stop prioritizing this stranger's feelings and tell him to leave you alone. But I couldn't. At the slightest provocation, old, sad, doormat Alexis had quickly jumped back in charge. "I'm not trying to be rude," I said carefully, feeling my heartbeat spike. "I would just like to be by myself tonight." Well, shoot. Now that I'd committed to that, would I have to leave the bar so Carter didn't catch me talking to anyone else later? My palms started sweating. "One drink," he started.